I think in a student-centered classroom, the teacher is obviously still very important, but it's definitely geared more towards the students. And so even if a few students are struggling on a certain topic or a part of the unit, the teacher will give assessments or check in with the students regularly to make sure that everyone understands. And even if a few people don't, the teacher will spend longer to go over that topic. And I think it's okay that certain periods and different class periods, have different places that they're at in terms of the unit, because then we make sure that the students are all caught up and all understand the topic.
Yeah, and I also think that a student-centered classroom would be everyone speaking freely and having their own opinion, and the teacher checking up on how well each and every student is doing and the progress of students.
Well, since I went to River School for all 3 years, I know my basics about PBL and how it works and group projects and being able to be responsible for your own work. At River School, we had a lot of problems with group work. They weren't able to exactly break it up evenly, but we were able to still figure things out, and I think Miss Salas has been able to do that really well, and something that she's done really well compared to River is being able to communication, because at River we didn't really have that communication between our teachers, and Miss Salas has done a really good job of being able to answer questions, walk around, know what every student is doing, being able to influence everyone. And then also the same thing is students helping other students, which River had, but it wasn't as bonded, and I think it's just because our class is very close, but we were able to help each other in certain dilemmas, things we didn't understand on certain packets. Another thing that Miss Salas is doing really well that River School did was we did a lot of different types of learning. We did videos, taking notes, textbook work, worksheets, group projects, coloring maps, etc. And I think she's done a really good job of creating that variety so everyone understands.
She was really fluent about it. She introduced the topic, asked us first what a podcast was, and we kind of debated over that for food for thought. And she pretty much just gave us what podcast was, gave us some questions about the podcast stuff.
To add on to that, she wanted to know what we already knew. So when she first introduced to us, we created a need to know and a know list, so that she already knew what we knew, so she wasn't repeating over already our basic knowledge, but she wanted to add to it. So for example, we knew basics about the project, our requirements for it, whether it was a group project, etc. What we needed to know was what a podcast was, what we need to do for the podcast, what it needs to contain, and she did a really good job of also just leaning us into it, not just overwhelming us with all of the stuff we needed to do. She kind of just right now we only have our feet in the water, and soon later we'll be jumping in.
Also, another way she rolled it out was, instead of giving us paper from our textbooks and giving us questions from textbooks, what she did is she actually showed us an example of podcasts and explained to us the tone and the meaning and how we should be making it set up to send to the veterans home so that the veterans can hear it, because the whole point of the project is to be able to send it to the veterans home and then listen to it and tell us what they felt with it.